Hi guys, hope you're all doing okay. So in today's video, I am going to show you my first 14 days, my experience and what art I've done in this book that I purchased, 365 Days of Art. This is a book by Lorna Scobie, a creative exercise for every day of the year. It's quite a thick book and it feels good quality. So the reason why I'm doing this challenge is to have a little escape every day, a half hour for me to unwind, to try out some things that I wouldn't think of, see different results that I can get from different art supplies. I've linked all the art supplies that I used in this book in the description. So moving on to the first page of the book then, colour or create a pattern. I also have a love of the world and geography, so I wanted to start off the book with a bit of that influence. I wanted to put all the flags down of the countries that I'd visited, colour those in if I've been there, and then the ones that I want to visit, just draw out the outlines, and then when I do get there eventually, I can come back to this book and colour them in. This is me just creating the flags and trying to get them as close to as realistic as possible. So on these pages, I won't go through every page in detail. I'm just going to go through the ones that I enjoyed doing. If it's something simple like colouring in something, I'll probably just show you what I'd done and skip through. Number 2, which was turn these paint splodges into animals. So I was a bit apprehensive doing this. I couldn't really see what animals they were. So I started with the rabbit at the bottom and I wasn't happy how I'd started with that. Eventually I've got him to where I wanted him to get to by adding some extra detail on there. So I quite like him now. A few on here that I like is in the top right, that little rabbit, the grey rabbit with his little feet. I think he's quite cute. I like both the hedgehogs, particularly the one down the bottom with his feet up in the air. Smiley face. I've got quite a few cats on here as well because I love cats. Page 3. Draw something outside and focus on particular elements of the building. So I might have missed the point on this one because I've actually drawn all of like detail on the building as well. I did start with the top, but then I wanted to add and add and add. Used watercolor as well on here and drew the castle. I'm quite happy with the castle, but I might have just missed the point of the challenge there. Okay, number 4, fill the page with swatches of colour. So my idea here is I picked up these paints quite a while ago and I'd not actually used them on anything, and I wanted to see how they showed, well, what they showed up as. So I've got the metallic ones, and you can see the shine of those there. I quite like those, particularly the gold. And I've got some glow in the dark paints as well. So I had to put the white down to prime the paper, add the different colours down. And I couldn't see if this was going to work. I wasn't sure if it was, but I've got evidence here. I've got a picture in the corner. Yes, they do work. So I might use those in an actual art piece, whatever I decide to do. I might try and put these in to make it glow in the dark. So we'll see. Number 5, yeah, so just basically colouring in the fruit, but not using the normal colours that you'd see of the fruit. So on this one, I wanted to see how my new Posca pens worked, and I was quite happy with the results. It did try and eat the paper up a little bit though, so that was a bit of a surprise. But it doesn't go through onto the next page, it just sort of takes a bit of the paper up. Number 6, yeah, the fish. So with this one, I quite enjoyed doing this. The adding all the little fish in and using some watercolor paints to do that with the Posca paint pens as the detail. I'm just going to show you from start to finish. Really, I'll speed it up and you can have a look at the full process on this one. Number 7, draw someone you know from memory. I'm not very good at faces, so I thought I'd do a silhouette from memory of Mary Poppins. I think she's sort of there. I don't know whether she has the handle at the bottom of the umbrella or if that hat's right, but that was that one. Number 8, here I wanted to use some coloured pencils that I'd had a while and see how they would work with the blender pen. So I just drew some carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, which I know is not a vegetable. I realised this after I'd done it, and an onion or some onions. Even though I'm not happy with the middle of the potato collection, I quite like the two at the front. I think they look really potatoey. I also did a separate video on this one from start to finish the process. So I'll link that at the end as well and in the description. And it was just with no commentary. I had the sound of the pencils, a bit of ASMR. Number 9, well, we've got the colour of the parrot and the leaves and everything, and this was just to add in details on the feathers. Again, I quite enjoyed doing this one, even though it's quite simple. So what I'll do is I'll just show you that from start to finish of that one coming together. Number 10, just doing some scribbles, seeing how these are some old crayons that I had lying about, so showing how they work and how they blend. Didn't blend very well, probably because they're cheap old crayons. But yeah, that's what the page wanted you to do really, was to see how they work. Number 11 then, so this was to practice drawing the features on the faces here, draw the eyes about halfway down the face, yeah, so I'm not very good at faces. I wanted to use the pencils that I had been using on the other days. So yeah, I was quite happy how the eyes and the mouth turned out. A couple of the noses as well, maybe the one in the top right. But yeah, a bit more practice I think needed on faces. I'm always a bit scared doing them. But yeah, positives are I'm not 100% disappointed with it. I am happy with some elements of them. Okay, number 12 then. So yeah, I did a separate video on this one. I called it Indie Fruit Tree in Acrylic Paint. I don't have any of those fan paintbrushes. I just had an angled brush that I got recently. I thought I would use the angled brush to see if I could create like a tree that had got caught in a gust of wind. And what I wanted to do was add the dark colours and then layer it up with something a bit lighter and then try and get in a bit of the glow from the sun with the yellow and then the white on top and then add the fruit afterwards. And I liked how it came together and seeing how the different colours changed how the tree looked. So yeah, I got a separate video on that one. That is just with some ambient bird music on it, which I'll link in the description too. So number 13, this was just to colour the white circles to see how different colour combinations work. Maybe you can use those colour combinations in a different project. So I'll just circle the ones that I quite like the look of. So like the red and the dark blue, quite like the contrast on those two. That deep pink and light blue. So yeah, I'll circle those ones. The yellow and green's nice as well. Okay, and lastly, number 14. So this was just to fill the section with some flowers. It was, again, just using my Posca pens, drawing these simple flowers. It was nice to do something that was without much detail. My overall thoughts then, so the quality of the paper I think is good. It didn't see much bleed through apart from the brush markers on day 2, but that didn't matter so much as I didn't have to use the page behind it. It took the pencils, the Poscas, the acrylics, watercolour, took it well. I did get a little bit of warping on the page that I used the watercolours on, but I think that's just to be expected really. So I want to try and rekindle my love for art and find different ways of doing that and come up with different ideas. And I think this book's going to help me do that. I'm going to post a video in February, and this is going to be a flip through of all of January. Are you doing any art books at all this year, or are there any that you think I should try? Please let me know. And thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all the views and the likes from my first couple of videos. And there'll be more to come as well. So I've recently done the diamond art review, and I will be doing more diamond art again very soon. I'm going to be doing painting by numbers and other art books as I rediscover my creative side again. So if that is something that you're interested in, please subscribe. I'll see you all soon. Take care.